What's up, guys? Today we're gonna learn how to do 3D text in Blender, which is quite a smart thing to do because you can use your own fonts on your own system, and then you can turn them into actual 3D meshes and then bring them into horizons, which is really great if you want to give any of your clubs or art projects that classy look with a nice logo. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get started. So first we need to open up Blender, which I should have already opened. Give me just a sec. So just with Blender, this is the default scene, but we don't need anything in it, so we're just going to sort of hit the A button to select everything, and then we're going to press the delete key to just delete it all. Okay, there we go. We're starting from scratch now. So what we have to do is Shift and A, which opens up the Add menu, and then we select just down here. We've got text. So we're going to select text. Okay. And now we've got that. Just to make this easier to work with, we're going to hit this little Z button just at the top right here. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to just mouse wheel inwards so we get a nice look at it. And if we shift and middle mouse button and drag, we could sort of move that over here. So to edit that text now, we're going to make sure it's selected. So it's going to be highlighted in orange. We press the Tab key on our keyboard, and we get a cursor that pops out. Wonderful. So what we're going to do now is we're going to just backspace to remove it, and I'll say my fancy club. Great, there we go. And then what we do is we just press Tab to come out of edit mode again. Now you'll notice down the bottom here, like there's a little A key, a little A symbol, sorry. And if we just click on that, that takes us to the data tab. Now I'm going to move my bummer, which is the other side of the stack, so you guys can actually see that. So here we go. You can see that we've got a whole load of settings in here. We've got, most of them we won't need, but I think the one you might need, for example, if I was to go back in here, and I just edit this, sorry, move again. If I was to sort of put this on a new line like this, my fancy club like that, right? So, oh my God, where am I going? So what I can do here is if I just exit edit mode again, okay, and then I can use, for example, the alignment horizontal. I can see center it, yeah, or I can even sort of set it to the right, or yeah, justify if I've got multiple words in the line also works. A treat. So yeah, just move myself back over here. So the options that we've got, guys, just over here, we've got the font is definitely a thing, so we can sort of expand this menu just here, okay? And we're going to probably expand this out just a little bit so we can kind of see it a bit more clearly, all right? I'm going to choose this regular, okay? Actually, if I just go, I have to open font. This is a bit weird, right? So Blender's a little strange like this. You actually have to go into your system fonts folder to choose a font. So if I click on this little thing here, it'll open up a file browser. And you can kind of see here, like, I've got all my fonts in my Windows fonts folder. So I can just sort of choose any font by choosing right here. So maybe I'm going to go for, I don't know, this fancy one, Curls. Well, maybe I'm going to go for something a bit classy. I'm going to go for Edwardian. Ready? Boop. There. And then reopen that font. Okay. So you can see it's actually converted this now to this, which is wonderful, right? Okay, so now we've got this set up like so. We're going to, you notice it's a 2D object, right? You can't actually export that. So what we have to do is with that text selected, now we're in object mode, not edit mode, of course, okay? So if we right click here, then we've got this convert to menu. So we can actually convert this object to a mesh, which is wonderful. So we're going to do just that here. We're going to click on this mesh thing just here. And that changes it. Now you'll notice when we do that, we've lost a little A down here. We can't edit it anymore. Okay, that's important because we've taken it from being text now into a mesh. But if I press that tab key, you can kind of see there's a lot going on in here. Now it's because converted it to a mesh. You've actually got all that triangulation going on there, which is fine. It's absolutely fine. So what do we do with that now? Well, we can make it not quite so 2D by, if we just go into the object, into edit mode, we press A, just select everything. Okay, make sure we're probably in face mode is good for this, I think probably. So we do that. Now, if we press the E key and just gently move the mouse up a little, you can see we've actually extruded the text there. It's kind of cool. And then we press tab again. And there you go, you've got some text. Wonderful. Now, the one thing I would say, right, use your eyes to have a little look at the vertex placement in this, or vertex placement. And you're going to see there's like some horrendous amounts of vertices that make it incredibly smooth, sure enough, but unfortunately that's a very complex geometric object which might not play so well in a game engine. So when we before we export that, I would definitely encourage usage of a modifier. So we click on the blue spanner here, okay, and then we add a modifier, and that modifier will be to generate. Let's generate a decimate. Now, for you guys who haven't come across decimate before, decimation is basically a tool which allows you to reduce the vertices in an object. Now, there's three primary ways you can do it: planar, and subdivide, and collapse. The collapse is, for this kind of shape, probably the best. Planar is good if you're dealing with box-shaped objects. But that said, play around with them, see what works for you. So we're going to leave it as collapse, okay? Okay, so with this select, we have to be outside of edit mode, but we're going to turn on a wireframe, okay? Now watch what happens. This ratio is set to 1 at the moment in decimate, which means unchanged, okay? But as soon as I start dipping this down, look, the object is sort of changing itself there. It's making itself far less geometrically complex, which is good news for a game engine which needs to render these objects at, let's say 60 frames per second, ideally. So we can bring it really far down, and look what's happened. We've really messed it up. But again, it's a non-destructive shader, okay? So that's shader, sorry, modifier. So it means we can just take it up to a point where we're happy with it. But you can sort of see if I do this, you can see there's a point where you stop seeing any real difference. Oops, sorry, I actually clicked the wrong button there. Yeah. So all these things, right? I'm gonna take it up to about there. You can actually see the face count down the bottom as well. Pay attention to that. So when we started, you can see for one logo, we were at 15,822 faces, which is mad. Absolutely mad, right? For a logo. If we bring that ratio down, you see it's really dropping down. You haven't even seen a difference yet. We're below halfway on the complexity. And now you start to see it change just as that last point down to the last, I would say 3,000, which is grand. But again, play with it. Play with it to a point you're happy with it. And if we just wireframe that, sort of see, here we can see it is a lot less complex, which is great. And the other thing I'm going to do as well to further reduce the complexity of this, okay, is I'm going to just press tab. Press tab to take myself into edit mode. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take myself down to look at it from the bottom and make sure I'm in vertex. Face selection mode. I'm sorry, that's very, very important for what we're ready to do. And then I'm going to make sure that we are on X-ray mode, which I may have to expand this out just a little. But yeah, that's X-ray mode, okay? This button allows you to see through things and select through things. Now, because I've got face mode selected, if I draw a box here, make sure this mode is set on, the select box. If I draw this box along the bottom, you can see it's actually selected the back faces on that. So at the moment, we might have a face count of 3,552, but because we never, you may not want to see the back faces on this object, you might be wall mounting it. So to even further decomplexify that one, simplify, not decomplexify, what the hell am I talking about? Then I can actually get rid of the faces on the back, and we'll see what happens. Ready? So that's now not had much of an effect in here, I think, but that's okay. It still has helped. So if I bring this back now, I turn off X-ray, then we can actually see our logo is much cleaner. Much cleaner. But on the back, you can see there's absolutely no faces, which does save it even more. I compared to now, you're probably wondering why the sides look iffy. Okay? That's because everything's flat shaded right now. So if I go back in here and I select this option here, just to make me look at it this way. So remember, we've got no faces on the bottom, okay? No faces on the bottom. But if I now select, I've got to turn Act Free mode back on. If I now select the top faces, okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Control and I. Control I will invert my selection. If you don't want to remember these things, by the way, you can just use Select and invert. So that's going to select all the other faces on the top once I've selected. So you can see there the selection is only on the sideways faces, okay? Very important. And what I'll do there is I'll say F3 and smooth. Okay. Base shade smooth. Watch what happens there. So I've just selected that. Now, let's turn off that. And you can see like we've got lovely smooth edges. Very curvy. Great. So that's it, guys. That is it. Again, there's lots more options inside the texting when you're designing it to make it look how you want. But really, go wild with it. There's so much you can do. I mean, you know, again, remember, if you're not happy with a layer, you can always, gotta get it lined up right, okay? Just do it this way. And then you can, for example, this is in edit mode, I've just used X-ray to allow you to select through. And if I just press G on that selection, I can then move that up over here so I can do whatever I want with it. Squeeze it together, you know. So again, remember to sort of lock it to the right dimensions, because all I've just done there is I've moved it forward, which I didn't mean to. So if I just press Z here, so we're looking straight down, I can then grab that and move that up here. My fancy club. Great. Okay, yeah, and then that's just ready to import into Horizon World. So apply your, you know, meshes or whatever you want, or textures. Apply your materials and meshes, and off you go. Fantastic. Well, I hope that was informative, guys. As always, remember to kick the like button below. It does help me. Please do consider subscribing as well. Always good. Thank you. Anyway, I'll end the video here. I hope that was helpful. I hope someone finds that useful. Please do remember to share these videos with your friends as well if you found it helpful, because a lot of people out there are still learning this stuff, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.